All right, welcome back, everybody. It's time now for Kara's Cures. Could ketamine therapy change the world of treating mental health disorders like depression?
Joining us now is Dr. William Pruitt from Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan, Connecticut. It's one of the only hospital-based ketamine clinics in the Northeast, so he's here to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for being with us, Doctor.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So you say that this is it could be a definite game changer, especially for a good portion of the population suffering from depression.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the newest treatments we have and has really been shown to be effective for patients with depression that have tried other medications and those just haven't worked to treat their depression.
So let's do a little 101, and I do want to say we're going to take a deep dive on Kara's Cures on the show and podcast. And so it's absolutely a beautiful setting in New Canaan, Silver Hill Hospital. But when people hear ketamine, they think, oh, psychedelic. Is it a psychedelic? And why are psychedelics becoming so important in this mental health space?
Yeah, it really depends how broadly you want to define psychedelic, but I think it falls into this broad category of psychedelics, these newer medicines that alter a patient's experience of consciousness. It's the one that's sort of illegally prescribable by physicians at this point. And I think these are really important treatments because we haven't had approaches like this before. And ketamine, for example, works on different neurotransmitters in the brain than our other antidepressants, and that might be one of the ways that it's been much more effective.
How is it taken? Is it an oral medication? Is it infused? And how long does the treatment last and take?
It can be administered in all different types of ways. The way it's been best studied and the way that we're administering it here is through an IV infusion. The infusion itself is about 40 minutes, and then the patient would stay here with us for another hour after that infusion to recover and to come back to their normal mental state.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you're seeing people with treatment-resistant depression. That's really who you're targeting.
Yeah.
People who haven't been able to get relief from regular SSRIs or drugs. What's their experience sometimes? Why are we hearing that this is like a game changer? What are you seeing in your patients?
So these are the patients we're treating, patients with treatment-resistant depression, and it can work for many of them. Some, for example, after just a few infusions, they can see their mood lifting, the depression sort of starting to fade away. Some of them can experience complete remission from their depressive symptoms with these treatments.
And it's durable,
so it
like it would last?
But for those that it does work for, it can be very effective.
Yeah, is it a durable treatment, like it lasts? How long do you usually have to do this to be in the protocol?
So different places have different protocols. The treatments themselves, often patients will need more than one to get a durable effect. And even after a handful of treatments, after weeks or months, these effects can fade away. So a lot of times we see the best response with depression, the least remission, when the treatment courses are prolonged. The patient will get more infusions at the beginning, and then if their depression is responding well, we'll sort of decrease those over time, decrease the frequency of infusions, so they can get fewer and fewer as time goes on, but often they'll need repeated infusions over time to maintain the response.
And I guess we're pretty lucky because you say this particular clinic is one of the only in the Northeast literally providing a lifeline for many in our community.
It is one of the few hospital-based clinics here in the Northeast. And there are various clinics around, but I think we've done a really good job putting together a high-quality program. And I think it's very important for the people in the area to have access to this treatment.
Yeah, and what's different with you is you have doctors there the entire time guiding this. You're using a lot of science. I was doing in preparation to interview, looking at some of this because ketamine is getting written about. It's on podcasts. And if you go online and do a quick search, you can see people that say, just get a prescription or do a little retreat or, get it in a kind of unsupervised way.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
What's your thought on that way?
I think the supervision is very important. I think there are many providers out there doing this in various different ways. You'll hear it often referred to as the Wild West in the ketamine treatment world right now. I think the treatment can be really effective, but appropriate mental health screening, appropriate medical screening is important. appropriate oversight during the treatments is important, really to ensure safety from a psychological and a medical perspective. There are ways that it can be dangerous, especially when done unsupervised. So I think it is really important to go to a reputable place if you're seeking out this treatment.
How do people find out how to get involved with this treatment?
So there are different ways. I think speaking to your own psychiatrist is an important first step to see if you would be an appropriate candidate. Reaching out to one of the treatment centers around that's reputable is sort of a good next step. For example, you're in the Silver Hill area and want to reach out to us, you can just reach out to our main number, talk to the admissions department, and they can give you all the information you need about scheduling an evaluation.
We're going to take a deeper dive on the Kara's Cures podcast and show. You can find that on WFSB Plus and on our website, silverhillhospital.org. Doctor, thank you. Look forward to learning more in a little bit.